1950. Toyota was on the edge of death, not struggling, not declining, dying. Factories were silent, workers were protesting, money was gone. And inside Japan, almost no one believed this company would survive. Today, that same company builds a car every few seconds, and chances are your life has already been touched by it. Not loudly, not dramatically, quietly, efficiently, relentlessly. So here's the question no one really asks. How does a company go from near collapse to becoming one of the most powerful systems on Earth? What kind of thinking can turn weakness into global dominance? And more importantly, what did it cost to build something so perfect that the world stopped questioning it? Because Toyota didn't just build cars, they built a way of thinking that quietly took over the world. This is not a car story. This is a story about discipline, about pressure, about obsession, about a country rebuilding itself from ashes, and a company that refused to follow the rules of power, from looms to machines to something far bigger than metal and wheels. This is Toyota, the company that didn't move fast, but made the world move its way. Before Toyota became a company, it was a problem, a simple one. In the late 1800s, Japan was not industrially powerful. Factories were inefficient. Labor was exhausting. Mistakes were constant. And in a small village, a man named Sakichi Toyoda was watching his mother work, hour after hour, on a manual loom, repetitive, exhausting, endless. And something about that didn't sit right with him. Not emotionally, logically. Why should a human repeat the same mistake over and over again? Why not build a machine that refuses to make mistakes? That question would quietly reshape industries. Sakichi didn't want to build a business. He wanted to eliminate inefficiency. And that's a very different obsession. By the time he built his automatic loom, it didn't just work. It stopped itself when something went wrong. Think about that. A machine that refuses to continue if it detects a mistake. That idea would later become the DNA of Toyota. But at that moment, it was just a son trying to fix his mother's suffering. Sakichi's invention made money, good money, enough to sell the patent to a British company. And with that money, his son, Akio Toyoda, made a decision that didn't make sense at the time. He didn't double down on looms. He walked away and chose cars. Now think about this for a second. Japan, in the 1930s, had almost no car industry. America dominated, Europe innovated, Japan imported. So why would anyone start building cars there? Kiichiro wasn't chasing opportunity, he was chasing independence. He believed something dangerous. If we don't build it ourselves, we will always depend on others. And that belief would cost him everything. The first Toyota cars were not impressive. They were copies, heavily inspired by American designs, slower, less refined, less trusted, and yet they kept building, not faster, better. Inside the factory, something unusual was happening. Workers weren't treated like machines, they were part of the system. If they saw a problem, they could stop the entire production line. Imagine that, a single worker with the authority to stop everything. In most companies, that would be chaos. In Toyota, it became control, because mistakes were not hidden, they were exposed and fixed immediately. This wasn't efficiency, this was philosophy. But then, the war came. World War II didn't just shake nations, it broke systems. Factories were destroyed, resources disappeared, demand collapsed, and Toyota was pushed to a point it had never prepared for. Survival, not growth, not innovation. Survival. By 1950, the company was drowning in debt. Workers went on strike, production stopped, and for the first time, the system that was built to eliminate problems became the problem. Because when everything slows down, efficiency alone can't save you. And what happened next didn't just save Toyota. It rewired the way modern companies think. But it came with a cost that most people still don't understand. The fall, the rebellion, and the system that changed the world. By 1950, Toyota wasn't just struggling, it was collapsing. Orders dropped, cash disappeared, factories slowed to a crawl, and inside the company, something broke. Not machines, people, workers, the same people who were trusted to stop production for quality, now stopped everything for a different reason. They went on strike, not for power, for survival, because Toyota could no longer afford them. Think about the irony. A system built on respecting workers now couldn't protect them. Tension filled the air. Management versus workers, trust versus reality. And in that moment, Toyota faced a brutal truth. Philosophy doesn't pay salaries. Negotiations failed. Voices got louder. Lines were drawn. This wasn't business anymore. This was personal. Families depended on those jobs, and yet, the numbers didn't lie. Toyota had two options: die slowly or cut deep. And then something happened that most companies would never do. Kiichiro Toyoda, the man who built the company, stepped down. Not forced, not removed. He chose to leave, to take responsibility. Let that sink in. The founder walked away from his own creation to save it. That decision didn't fix everything, but it changed something deeper. It reset the culture. Because now, Toyota wasn't just a company trying to survive. It became a company willing to sacrifice itself to survive. After the chaos came silence. And inside that silence, a new way of thinking began to form. Not louder, smarter. A man named Taiichi Ono started asking a dangerous question. What if we stop producing more and start producing only what is needed? At that time, this idea sounded insane. Factories were built for volume. Mass production was king. More output meant more power. But Ono saw something others missed. Producing more was creating waste. Inventory piled up. Errors multiplied. Time was lost. So instead of speeding up, Toyota slowed down. Deliberately, they built a system where nothing was made until it was needed. No step was taken without purpose. No mistake was ignored. This became just in time. But it wasn't just a method, it was control over chaos. Here's where it gets interesting. Most companies try to control people. Toyota controlled the system. Workers weren't forced to be perfect. The system was designed so mistakes couldn't hide. And when a problem appeared, it wasn't punished. It was studied over and over again until the root cause was eliminated. This created something rare, a company that didn't fear problems. It hunted them, and slowly, something unbelievable started to happen. While the rest of the world was producing more and more, Toyota was producing less, but better, cheaper, faster, more reliable. At first, no one noticed. Then competitors started asking questions. Then they started getting nervous because Toyota wasn't just improving, it was rewriting the rules. And once those rules spread, they wouldn't just affect car companies, they would reshape how the entire world works. But dominance always attracts attention. And soon, Toyota wouldn't just face competition, it would face something far more dangerous: The rise, the global takeover, and the hidden cost of perfection. At first, the world didn't take Toyota seriously, especially in America. Big cars ruled the roads, power mattered, size meant status, and Toyota, small, efficient, almost invisible. It wasn't impressive, it wasn't loud, it didn't try to dominate. It waited, patiently, because Toyota understood something others ignored. The world doesn't change overnight, it shifts under pressure. And then, the pressure came. In the 1970s, everything changed. The oil crisis hit, fuel prices exploded, panic spread, and suddenly, the world didn't want big cars anymore. It needed efficiency, and Toyota had already built for that future. While others were reacting, Toyota was ready. Cars that used less fuel, lasted longer, broke less often. This wasn't luck, this was timing, meeting discipline. And slowly, American consumers began to notice, then trust, then switch. Not because Toyota forced them, because reality did. Now, the giants felt it. Detroit, the heart of American auto power, started losing ground. Not suddenly, quietly, year by year. And the uncomfortable truth became clear. Toyota wasn't competing the same way. They weren't just building cars. They were building systems that made competition irrelevant. Because how do you beat a company that improves every single day, that learns from every mistake, that reduces cost without reducing quality? You don't. You fall behind. And that's exactly what started happening. But perfection comes at a price. Inside Toyota, the pressure was invisible. There were no loud demands, no aggressive speeches, just expectations, relentless expectations. Every process had to improve, every worker had to think, every mistake had to be exposed. And that kind of environment does something to people. Because when you build a system that never stops optimizing, you also create a culture that never relaxes. There is no finish line. No moment of good enough, only better, again, and again, and again. From the outside, it looked like discipline. From the inside, it felt like pressure, silent, constant, unforgiving. And yet, the results were undeniable. By the 1990s, Toyota wasn't just respected, it was feared. Not because it was aggressive, but because it was consistent, and consistency is the hardest thing to fight. But then, something changed. A new ambition emerged. Growth, faster growth, bigger scale, global domination. And for the first time, Toyota started moving faster than its own philosophy. And when a company built on perfection starts rushing, the consequences aren't small. They're catastrophic. By the early 2000s, Toyota had done what once felt impossible. It became one of the largest car manufacturers in the world. Respected, studied, copied. The system worked, almost too well. Because when a system becomes perfect, people stop questioning it. And that's when mistakes become dangerous. Not visible mistakes, hidden ones. Small defects began to appear. Nothing alarming at first. A recall here, a complaint there. But then, it started to grow. Accelerator pedals sticking, brakes not responding properly. And suddenly, Toyota wasn't being praised. It was being questioned. The recalls exploded. Millions of vehicles across multiple countries. News headlines turned aggressive. Governments got involved. Investigations began. And for the first time in decades, Toyota's greatest strength, trust, started to crack. Think about that. A company built on eliminating mistakes, now associated with them. This wasn't just a technical failure. This was philosophical, because somewhere along the way, Toyota had started prioritizing growth over its own principles. Faster production, more global expansion, more pressure, and the system that once prevented problems couldn't keep up anymore. And then, a familiar name returned to the center. Akio Toyoda, grandson of the founder, not a symbol, not a figurehead, a believer in the original philosophy. He stood in front of the world, not as a CEO defending a company, but as a human taking responsibility. He admitted failure, publicly, not perfectly, not strategically, honestly. And then he said something simple. We grew too fast. That moment wasn't about fixing cars. It was about restoring trust. Today, Toyota still stands, still builds, still improves, still leads. But the question remains, what did it really build? Cars or control? Because when you look closely, Toyota didn't just change transportation, it changed how systems think. Efficiency became religion, waste became the enemy, perfection became the goal, and slowly, the world followed. Factories, hospitals, tech companies, all chasing the same thing. Less error, more output, constant improvement. But here's the uncomfortable truth. When everything becomes optimized, what happens to everything human? Every empire starts with a simple idea. For Toyota, it was this: eliminate the mistake. A beautiful idea, logical, powerful. But ideas don't stay simple. They grow, they evolve, they demand more. Because the moment you chase perfection, you enter a loop that never ends. Better becomes normal, normal becomes expected, expected becomes pressure, and pressure never disappears. It just gets quieter, hidden inside systems, processes, people, and the most dangerous part, it feels right. So next time you see a Toyota pass by, you're not just looking at a car, you're looking at an idea that reshaped the modern world. An idea that asks, what if everything could be perfect? And maybe that's the real question. Not whether Toyota succeeded, but whether perfection was ever the goal we should have chased. Because the next empire won't be louder, won't be bigger. It will be quieter, smarter, more efficient. And just like Toyota, you won't notice it taking over until it already has.